Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
All right. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Cat Chat. I'm Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Brent Vigen. Pleasure to be with everybody today. And Bobcats, as we head into week one, are already 1-0 after one heck of a ball game on Saturday. How about that? 35-31 the win on Saturday out in Albuquerque, which had every twist and every turn you could possibly imagine. All right, we got a great show for you today. We're going to talk with Scottre Humphrey, who scored the game-winning touchdown this week. And we're also going to talk to Danny Uluilakepa. So we got a couple of the Pacific Northwest guys that are joining us today. But first, we say hello to our head coach, Brent Vigen. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Doing well, yeah. We're, again, to Wednesday, so way past the game last Saturday on to Utah Tech, obviously, for the last couple of days. But, real excited to get that win. And the way the game went was certainly not how we had scripted it by any means. But to be in position in that fourth quarter, to be down 10 right after we scored at the beginning of the quarter, obviously needed some things to go our way. And then, I thought really down the stretch, so our guys made the plays we needed to make on both sides of the ball. And to take the lead with 10 seconds left was just enough.
Yeah, it was something special. And, of course, once again, Bobcat fans showed up and showed out. Anybody here who was at the game this weekend? By round of applause. We can't see. There we go. Can't see raised hands on the radio, but very exciting to see everybody there. And I know it's always fun to see everybody celebrating after a game like that. And actually, that does lead us into one of our fan questions from Laura, asking what kind of impact did the Bobcat fans and cheerleaders make on this game down in Albuquerque this weekend?
Well, I think it was significant. However many fans we had there, we had a good portion. I think they announced the crowd at 17,000, and I would think we had 1,500, 2,000, something like that, from what I heard. Fans are away from the field a little bit there. I can't say that I looked up there plenty, at all to give a count, so to speak. But I definitely heard our fans, and certainly, down the stretch, I know they're making a difference.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see everybody over there, and it was really kind of a situation where it just felt like that whole side was just gold shirts. That was all you could see really over on that side. All right, we're going to dive into this game, but first, this weekend, Leo Davis is expecting the birth of his first child with his fiance coming up this week. So Daniel Sally will be on the broadcast with us, and he is celebrating his birthday today. He's in the back, so big happy birthday to our boy Daniel Sally, the voice of Montana State women's basketball, but he'll be on the broadcast this weekend with us out at Utah Tech, and we'll preview that game here in a little bit as well. But, Coach, this was a game where, again, there were a lot of ups and downs, a lot of different things, and you got the win, so, that part is fun, and we're going to feel good about it. But there were a lot of mistakes in this game. When you do look back at this, what are some of the top-line things you want to clean up from this first game going into this second game?
Well, I think, just starting on offense, the mistakes are the 2 turnovers, and I think start with the 2 turnovers for sure. And those are things that Tommy really hasn't done. I know on the first one, it was a protection that I think he knew that he should have been protected at least a little bit longer. So there were some things up front protection-wise I know that we could clean up. I think in the run game, altogether we were pretty solid. I think the run blocking was good. We have a couple new starters in there at tackles. We got our tackles playing guard. With Cole Sain, a center, hadn't played in a long time. So I think we felt pretty good about our run game. I think in the passing game, generally fairly, pretty efficient. I think there was moments in time. I know one thing Tommy talked about, when we got together on Monday was just how sweaty his hands were. So, we got to figure that piece out because we're going to be in the heat again this week. But I know there was balls in that first half that just flat slipped out of his hands. I think there was a couple of those. So offensively, it's things here and there, and the 2 turnovers would be the biggest things. I know on 4th down, we felt like we had good play calls. We didn't convert on 3 4th downs. I know that's an obvious area that if we're going to go for 4th down, we got to convert some of them at the very least. Defensively, I thought as the game went along, we tackled pretty well, but there were some things early on, just leverage and it wasn't our pursuit. Our effort and everything was there all day, but I think there were some early plays with some leverage in that first half that they got away from us. I think a couple obvious things were playing the ball in the air on a couple balls down the field. We got 2 interference down the field that we were in really good position. So we gotta improve that part. I know we got a couple of additional interference calls that those are probably going to come up with cornerbacks in the line of fire, so to speak. I did think as the game went along, we adjusted. On both sides. We go into that game. We're not blind by any means, but we really don't have a true sense for what they're going to do. I know defensively we were really thinking they would use Dan Pierre as a runner. That's really what he had done in the previous year or two, with a lot of success. So ultimately, as we got a quarter and a half into it, they hadn't done that much, but he was throwing, and there was holes, short game, quick game stuff because of how we were defending. Trying and attempting to defend the run. So I thought we made an adjustment to kind of change things up there. But it's a long list. I think that's the way the way it was going to be. It's our first game. It's in some cases guys' first game period where they've played to that extent. But it's the first time in a long time we were out there. But effort-wise, it was there all game. And I think our intensity, our belief, all those things is really what carried us through at the tail end.
Yeah, well, and I think their intensity really stood out, too. It was something you talked about all week, saying, hey, look, I think these guys are going to have more belief in what they're doing, and that definitely played out. And you kind of touched on the coaching staff a little bit there. Obviously, the first game for Tyler Walker's the offensive coordinator, Bobby Daly is the defensive coordinator. That kind of leads me into one of the questions I had, as well as Dale. First for Dale, he asked about any of the comments, if you have them, about your coaching staff's adjustments at halftime going into the second game. And the other part to that, too, that I was that kind of ties into what I was thinking was it didn't seem like there was any panic from them. Because, if you fall behind early like that, it's easy to get away from the game plan. But you guys still came out and continued to run the football, even though you were down by a couple of scores with a lot of time left. So I guess top line was just, how'd you think they handled everything that was thrown at them this weekend?
Yeah, I think they did a really good job, and that started a long time ago with, okay, who are we going to look at? How are we going to prepare our guys the best we can with a lot of unknown? And, I think there was a lot of carryover in what we prepared the guys with, whether it was coming from Virginia in the past, a little bit of Vanderbilt on defense, a little bit of Syracuse on offense. I think there was plenty of the foundation there. And then within the game, it takes a little bit of time to figure out, okay, what's their rhythm, and that's the rhythm on both sides of the ball, how they were calling defense, what they were doing offensively, like in particular how they were using their quarterback. So I think we made those adjustments as the game was going. It wasn't maybe anything in particular at halftime other than just saying, I think halftime is a lot about, okay, here's what's in the rear view. Here's what we need to do as we come out. And I know, ultimately we came out and we turned the ball over again. They scored, but by and large, we didn't have a ton of flaws in the second half. They didn't score offensively. I know they had a couple field goal attempts. Offensively, we were moving the ball, and they're going to make some plays too. I think you got to look at it that way. But we were doing a lot of the things that we thought we could, and that's why I think we always felt like we were in it. On both sides of the ball, we'd had relative success, and I think that was building as the game went along. And so you get that score right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Now it's a 10-point game, and there's a lot of time left. And I know for me, I'm watching the clock, thinking about possessions. We get the ball back, and then we don't get it on fourth down, and there was some concern there. We got it back again, thankfully, and at that point in time, I think we were close to 5 minutes. I told Tyler, we got to get some chunks here. We can't just be methodical here, and lo and behold, we get a 90-plus yard chunk in the run game. But to your point, being able to stay with our game plan was, that's what you want as a coach. You don't want to panic. You can't panic. You prepared your guys to do X, Y, Z, and you really want to live in that world the best you can. You start chasing other things. That's usually when that score becomes much more lopsided.
Yeah, well, yeah, that run by Adam Jones was something impressive, and then Tommy orchestrating the 2-minute drill that was capped by the Scottre Humphrey touchdown. And for Tommy, it was a career high in completions. It was a career high in passing attempts for him, and he made some really elite passes. And Ty McCullough was massive in this game as well. He had the touchdown catch. He had that tough catch where he got hit in the head down at the 5-yard line. And I asked him about it after. He said he did not see the ball go into his hands. It was just he was totally blind when he got hit there, but he popped up, didn't complain about it, and it was fun to watch the way Ty continued to step up as a leader in this ball game and was leading a group that really caught the football extremely well in this game, going all the way down to the tight ends who had 5 catches and a touchdown between the 3 of them.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it. We want to be more balanced, and that balance includes quite a few receivers and quite a few tight ends. And I hope through that game people saw, hey, we did some things a little bit differently. Where that was more quick game, probably in one game than we'd maybe, not to say all season last year, but it would have taken a bunch of games to that add up those number of reps.
Yeah.
And even in the 2-minute drive, we called the same play 3 times, and it was 3 completions, 2 to Junior, and he steps out of bounds, 1 to Rohan when they played a little bit different defense. And when you talk about Tommy evolving and just doing ordinary things, that's what I speak to the most is, catching a snap, identifying a defense, getting the ball out. That's what we need more of, and get the ball in guys' hands that can make plays on the flip side. Whether it is Junior or I spoke to Rohan, made some people miss. I know Ty. Taco didn't have the day that I think he will. I think he just had 1 catch, but I think there's more out there for him. We mixed Ryan King. I think he had a catch. Hunter Providence had a big catch. So I know it's I didn't get everybody there, but we were spreading the ball around. Our running backs are going to catch some balls too this year, and just getting the ball out of his hands and getting into different ball carriers is the primary function.
Right, and getting the snap sometimes is a little more difficult than other times, and ultimately when he's making those routine plays, it's great and it's exciting, but we still saw a lot of that Tommy magic. I mean, the 15-yard touchdown run he had, the athleticism to tightrope that left sideline after it was a broken play where it was kind of a funky snap, and Adam Jones having the wherewithal to turn around and try to block him up. And I think also, too, one of the things that stood out about Tommy's performance, at least for me, was he was elusive within the pocket. There was a lot of times where he was able to make a few guys miss, keep his eyes downfield, and keep that play going. You don't always have to break it off for a 50-yard run in order to be, pretty magical on a little elusive move.
No, being an athletic quarterback sometimes is just how you operate in the pocket, how you tolerate the pocket. And no one would say, whether it's Tom Brady or Peyton Manning going back a little bit, that those guys were athletic quarterbacks. But, boy, what they were able to do and manipulate the tiny spaces and move in subtle ways is really important to that position. And that hasn't been a huge part of what Tommy's been able to do or has done. It's not that he wasn't able to. It's just I think we've put more emphasis on it, just subtle pocket movement, being able to get the ball out. Just because it's not on time, just because we get a little pressure doesn't mean it needs to turn into a 30-yard sprint somewhere. And I think in particular that showed up on the 2-minute drive. And there was probably 3 plays in particular. It didn't happen right away, but ultimately we got a completion on the other end versus him scrambling and running for whatever he could get.
Did you guys watch film of some other NFL guys on how to kind of move around the pocket like that, or did you guys have an example for him, or was it just something you were working with?
Well, I think it's drill work.
Yeah.
And quarterback drills are all about repetition, and moving in tight spaces, being able to react to whatever stimulus it might be. And typically that's a large human coming after you, or, it's a different color jersey flashing that you need to move. So, Coach Walker's done a good thing of implementing more and more of those reactionary drills, and I think to some degree that showed up a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch. It was fun to watch the way some of these guys really kind of backed up what we expected to see from them coming into the season. We want to remind you that you can enjoy Cat Chat, the official radio show of Head Coach Brent Vigen and Bobcat Athletics, over Wings and Beer every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. only at Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, we're taking a break. A little later, we'll talk with Scottre, Humphrey, and Danny Uluilakepa. But first, a timeout. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
When I was using, I spent half my time worried about running out of pills and the other half hiding my addiction. Hiding from judgment, hiding from everything. I OD'd right there. My pills were laced with fentanyl. Narcan and my son saved my life. He found me and called 911. After that, I got treatment.
Learn more at helpsavelivemt.org. A message from Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, or on campus in the Strand Union building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
The Ribbon Chop House was founded in 2001. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our high-level commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. At the Ribbon Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you.
Hey, Bobcat fans, want to make a real difference in the lives of Montana State student athletes? The Bobcat Collective is your chance to do just that. By joining as a member or becoming a business partner, you're directly supporting our athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them succeed both on and off the field. Whether you're an individual looking to become a member or a business ready to partner with us, every contribution empowers our Bobcats to reach their full potential. Visit BobcatCollective.com to learn more and sign up today. Together, we can elevate our athletes and the entire Bobcat community. Go Cats, go!
Hey, college football fans, what do you call a game you can't lose? We call it the Conoco Coin Promotion. 250 fans at every Bobcat home game will get a Conoco coin. This coin can be redeemed for free prizes at a participating Conoco station. Watch out for the Conoco Coin Promotion at the next home Bobcat football game and redeem it for free prizes. Conoco, proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat, and it's almost Catterday, Bobcats, and it's Time to gear up for another season of Bobcat football. If you bleed blue and gold, then get game day ready with MSU Bookstore, the only not-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. Shop with us on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at msubookstore.org. Also coming up this weekend, in addition to our game, volleyball kicks off their season here at Schroyer Gym, and they've got not one but two premier matches coming up this weekend. Friday at 7 o'clock, they're hosting the Huskies. The Washington Huskies are coming to Schroyer Gym on Friday at 7 o'clock. They're unveiling their Fab 4 banner from last year, and then they play again on Sunday at 3 o'clock against Middle Tennessee Tech. So be sure to check them out. Should be a lot of fun. If you want to hear from more from head coach Matt Houck, talk to him for the podcast this week on the Bobcat Insider Podcast. I'm Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Brent Vigen, and we're talking about the week that was, and we'll get you ready for the Utah Tech game. Scottre, Humphrey, and Danny Uluilakepa join us in just a bit. But, Coach, I want to get to a couple of our last fan questions here that we had. This one from Dustin, pretty straightforward. He asks, will there be more blitzing this week?
Well, I'm not quite sure how the fans see the quantity of blitzing sometimes.
Yeah.
Does blitz mean you get a sack?
Right.
Or you get tackle for loss? Probably.
Yeah.
No, it's a real fine line. I think we blitzed a fair amount in that game. It didn't yield a lot of tackle for losses. We didn't get a sack. I know we ultimately got him on his heels. I know the number of throws in the second half where he was pretty jumpy, and his talking Dampier was there. Run pressure sometimes are really hard to distinguish from watching it. So I would say we're going to be a pressure-oriented team. I think the quarterback and his ability sometimes does dictate that. So, I think we'll strike a balance. And obviously whatever is in our best interest that particular game will be our identity. So, I think there's, I'd say, potentially.
All right, we appreciate that question from Dustin. Next question, Brian was asking about some of the film. You talk a lot about looking at film. Who supplies you with the film? How do you get that film? Probably something that's so second nature to you, but fans don't really think about or know about.
Well, I've been coaching long enough. There was a day when it was a physical exchange of VHS tapes. I don't go back to the reel-to-reel stuff, but you exchange tapes, and that's how it went. You mailed tapes, you sent tapes on airplanes, all that kind of stuff. For the last several years, we have access essentially to all the film, and I mean all the film, all the college film, and it's all on servers, I suppose, or cloud somewhere.
Is that what the Synergy or something along those lines? Or, but yeah, because it is all on a cloud. Everybody uploads it, and you can get to it.
We operate through Catapult,
okay.
and we can grab everything we need, and it's all there for our beck and call. A lot different than it was when I first got started.
Right. So did you ever run into times where where some coaches would maybe pull some shady stuff where it's like, oh no, our tape got this, or this broke, or our guy's running late, he got a flat tire? Like, was that something that used to happen?
There were issues for sure. Plays not showing up. I think that was probably the most thing, and that's a little bit different in the world of a videotape because what you have is what you have.
Right.
And exchanges not happening correctly. I don't know. Yeah, there was probably all kinds of issues when you think about it, but we can do a lot more with it now. It's there's a lot more we can manipulate, and it's been that way for a while. This isn't super recent, but it's. There's a lot to study. There's a lot to learn, and what you got to recognize is everyone else has the same access you do. So it's not like you have any kind of edge, but you want to learn as much as you can. You want to present it to your players in as concise a manner as possible, and ultimately your best players are probably film junkies at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And you guys are breaking a lot of film down on that plane ride after, right? I mean, I see a lot of laptops busting out. At one point, I saw Marcus coming from the back of the plane to the front of the plane. He had an armload of like 8 laptops walking along the plane to go get all the coaches their stuff.
Yeah. Ideally, most of us can watch the game on the way back. And at least get that behind us. There might be some of the coaches that are trying to break down the opponent's game when that does exist. But like for this week, we play Maine next week, and all the Maine film that we could have broke down has been broken down. We will get a new game come this Saturday, and that'll be added to the breakdowns, I guess. So always working ahead. Those younger coaches have that tall task of breaking it down correctly, and then as as our coaches get back in the office on Sunday, it's full steam ahead generally with that next opponent.
So how often do you watch live football? Like, even if it's a game maybe you kind of want to watch, like, say, NDSU and Colorado tomorrow night, like, is that something you just go back and watch so you don't have to watch the commercials?
No. I might enjoy it as it is, I suppose, a game on Thursday night, whether that's an NFL game down the road or a college game. We have a long day in the hotel on Saturday playing at 8 o'clock. So, I'm sure you can catch a little bit of live football at that time. Sometimes there's Friday night games. But, yeah, it is a different world when you can't just fast forward. You can't click to the next play, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to take a break, and after this timeout, we're going to get into some of our player guests. Daniel Uluilakepa will join us later, but after this timeout, running back Scottre Humphrey is joining the show. But first, a timeout. We're live for Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Hi, former Bobcat Lou Salcedo for Western Motors. Our team proudly supports MSU Bobcat football both on and off the field. I want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck for the season. Western Motors has spent the last 22 years serving Gallatin County and supporting over 40 local organizations. We've been recognized as the best in Bozeman and Gallatin's greatest several years running. As Montana's #1 volume dealer, we are hired in all departments across 8 of our dealerships. We have plenty of new and used inventory ready for purchase. Good luck, Bobcats. Western Motors. Community born, community driven.
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
Revelry is your neighborhood eatery, here to serve a wholesome and savory palate that celebrates Montana roots with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. We revel in a natural and energetic habitat that livens any day. We serve Bozeman's best pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and salads in a comfortable environment with 2 amazing patios. We love hosting Bobcats old and new. Check us out at 24 North Tracy or online at revelrymt.com. Go Cats, go!
Back on Cat Chat from Buffalo Wild Wings. We're getting set to talk with running back Scottre Humphrey. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat.
XL Country, 100.7. KXLB Churchill, Bozeman, Belgrade. Also in Livingston on translator K254AL.
Back live from Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Keaton Gillogly along with running back Scottre Humphrey. The Bobcats coming off the 35-31 win against New Mexico. The Cats had a lead for all of 10 seconds in this ball game, and they got that after this man scored the game-winning touchdown. Scottre, yes, sir. How we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling excited.
Yes, happy to have you along today and talk about this game. I know we had a fan question just about some of the the fans that made the appearance there and came out. What's it like from your perspective, both to hear them in the game and then have the opportunity to go sing the fight song with them after the game?
I just love the support that the Bobcats popped out to the game. There was a lot of Cats fans out there, and it was beautiful to see that we put out with a dub and got the support of our fans.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see the way everybody gets out there and handles some of that stuff. It is cool. I mean, it seems loud, and it seemed like it was pretty obvious that they were all over there as well.
Yeah, they're loud. They're loud. They're really loud.
Yeah, that's good to see. Well, let's talk about your story a little bit. Second-year sophomore. Everybody's quite familiar with your name. You've had some big games already, including the Gold Rush debut last year with the 3 touchdowns. But how did Montana State first get on your radar when you were in high school?
First got on my radar, I already knew Montana State because a running back named Isaiah Fonse.
Oh, yeah, everybody here knows Isaiah Fonse.
Isaiah Fonse went here, and I know him from FSP doing, just working out together. And when I got the offer, I talked to him. I had a long conversation with him. And when I came out here for my official visit, I already knew I wanted to be a Bobcat. It's beautiful out here. The fans, all you guys support us. And it's just beautiful out here. I never had like a family, when it comes to like fans to support me 24/7. So it's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty unique out here with the ability to be able to do some of that. So what were some of the things that Fonse told you? What did he say about Montana State? I mean, what was that conversation like?
He said the culture here is just winning. I love winning culture. I love winning, and I'm gonna do everything I can to help my team win. So for the most part, it was just more like just helping the team out, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was telling me more like, you got to do the small things and the big things will pop out later. So that's what he was telling me mostly.
Yeah, do the small things and the big things will pop out later. I like
Facts.
that. And you're wearing his number too. You're wearing 22.
Yeah.
Was that just a coincidence?
It was just a coincidence, honestly. But I wear it with a chip on my shoulder for sure.
Yeah, and it might be one of those numbers we end up seeing up atop the press box someday with him being the all-time leading rusher at Montana State. So I know some people would certainly want to back that up. All right, so you talked to him. That was kind of on your radar. Came out here. It was beautiful, winning culture, a lot of fans. But also the school-wise, what was your priority in terms of just classes, getting your degree, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm the first person in my family to go to college, to a 4-year school. So I wanted to go to a school where I can graduate from, and I love the scenery, and I love the campus here, so I want to graduate from here. So.
I like it. What are you studying?
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology, okay. So what does that go into?
It's kind of like sports med, you know what I mean? Like, I want to help people out, you know what I mean? So.
Okay. So you could end up being a trainer or a physical therapist, something like that?
Something like that,
Okay.
Maybe the league, too.
Yeah, that's a good way to get around there.
Yeah.
I know a lot of trainers who've worked at some of the higher levels. It's a good gig. It's a long gig, but it's a good gig.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So is it a lot of science, that kind of thing?
Yeah, a lot of science, a lot of math. But
yeah, you good at that?
Okay, I think I'm pretty good. So,
yeah, good enough to get it done.
100%.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so you're getting through that, and I saw this one quote that you gave Victor Flores back when you were in high school. So, but it was a little while ago, and you talked about seeing Montana State as a place you could be for 4 or 5 years. Was it important to you in your recruitment to pick a place that you felt like you could be long-term and not just a place that maybe was going to be like a springboard in the current culture of college football?
Yeah, 100%. I'm a little guy when it comes to schools. You know what I mean? Like, I stayed at Rainier Beach for 4 years where I had the opportunities to leave. But, yeah, I'm a little guy when it comes to schools. I want to stay and make a name for myself at one place.
Yeah, well, so far you're making a name for yourself already. You got the game-winning touchdown this week. You had the big Gold Rush last year. Take me back to Gold Rush, man. I mean, your first college football game, 3 touchdowns in that atmosphere with that crowd. I mean, what comes to mind when you think about that memory, that moment, that particular Saturday in the Gallatin Valley?
Yeah, I got to give big props to my offensive line because the holes were there, you know what I mean? So I was just running through them. I honestly didn't even think I would play that game. They had like 3 running backs ahead of me in the depth chart before that game started. One went down, the other guys, and then coach gave me a shot. I just ran with it, I just ran with the shot.
Yeah, literally ran with it. Well, so from that, you get into this year now, and you're the guy with Julius Davis will be back. Adam Jones obviously had a big part of this game. Jared White's a big weapon. We're going to see him. So there's plenty more guys here in that. But for you, what were the biggest things you were trying to grow on the field? What were you trying to do better? What did you improve the most on this last summer?
Just making guys miss in the secondary level, you know what I mean? Just working on my game in my hands, catching the ball out the backfield, just small things like that. and then working on my burst in the second level, trying to not get hawked, caught in the back. But
hawked, I've heard this term a couple times, hawked. What does that mean?
It's just like when you hit the second level and then somebody comes from behind and tackles you.
Yes, okay. Because I heard a couple of people talk about that with the Adam Jones run. They were saying, I hope he wasn't going to get hawked. So that's what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't get hawked.
Yeah, good. We don't want to get hawked. That's good to know. That's cool. And then the other part, too, I imagine at this level, the vision is even more important, too. In college, high school, you're a big dude. You could probably just bowl over some people. But what were some of the things you've worked on in terms of your vision to make sure you're hitting the right hole at the right time?
Yeah, Coach Mix is a great running back coach, and he helped me out so much with just slowing the game down for me. Because I really like a guy that just likes to hit it super hard, super fast. But he's showing me you got to slow down, be patient, look at the holes, look here, look here. And then it doesn't help me out with my game. And trying to put it on display this year.
Yeah, so far so good. I want to ask you about a couple of your teammates as well. Obviously, we know Julius Davis, but Adam Jones just had a monster game this week. What's it like watching him go to work? What makes him so effective?
It makes me happy, man. He's a spectacular player. You know what I'm saying? I love to see every one of our running backs getting in that end zone. You know what I mean? So he's a great guy, man. He's a great guy more than anything. I talk to him every day. You know what I'm saying? Love that guy.
Yeah. You guys have a nickname for the two of you all yet?
Nah, we were talking about Thunder and Lightning. You know what I'm saying? It's a little something like that, but it's what it is. We're Juice Squad. So.
Yeah, Juice Squad, the whole group.
Juice Squad, we're a whole.
I know the Thunder and Lightning, such low-hanging fruit. Everybody's done that,
Yeah,
it would fit with you guys, but you guys are too unique for that.
Yeah, Juice Squad.
I like it. One of the new members of the Juice Squad, another guy from the Pacific Northwest, Ontario Latin Henley. We'll see when he first gets out there and that sort of thing, but I've heard nothing but great reviews about what he's been doing in practice. What's this young man like?
Oh, man, he's a spectacular player right there. He's quick, fast. He knows how to make guys miss. When he gets on that field, you guys want to see big things from him, 100%.
Yeah. All right, so he's quick, he's fast, and he knows how to make some guys miss.
100%.
Final thing I want to ask you about here, too, is, Coach Vigen's talked about it a little bit this week, and Tommy Malott, and what he was able to do down the stretch there. And everybody knows he's a Bobcat legend and all that, but the poise to go through what he did and still execute down the stretch. You're in the huddle with him. You're there listening, make those calls when you guys gather, when the chips are on the table. What's his demeanor like? What's it like when he walks into the huddle and it's just him and you 11 in that huddle, and plays need to be made because wins need to be made as well?
He's a calm quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't show no panic at all, which I love. You know what I'm saying? When I see a calm and collected quarterback, it makes me more calm with myself and the ball. So yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's done it year in and year out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel comfortable with him. Versus anybody, really.
Yeah, it's interesting just how contagious that is when somebody's calm in that moment. That's because I would think, hey, you guys are all down there, you all know what you're doing, but when you do have a guy that can just bring it all down, it's a big deal, huh?
100%.
Yeah, well, it's fun to watch.
Yep.
Coming up next, you got Utah Tech this Saturday before you finally get a chance to get back home for Gold Rush, which we're all very excited about. But first, some business needs to happen out in St. George, so give us a couple of top-line keys on what you guys need to do to be successful this Saturday.
We're going to run the ball. We're going to gash them, and then we're going to have our skill guys catch the ball. Defense is going to hold them, make them go 3 and out, and we're going to come back on the field, score again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to win.
There we go. Run the football, catch the football, stop the football, and at the end of the day, you'll be on top.
100%.
There it is. That's Scottre Humphrey. That's the best way to break it all down. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, Danny Uluilakepa will join us. This is Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit 1, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, or on campus in the Strand Union building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
Hey, Bobcat fans. Want to make a real difference in the lives of Montana State student-athletes? The Bobcat Collective is your chance to do just that. By joining as a member or becoming a business partner, you're directly supporting our athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them succeed both on and off the field. Whether you're an individual looking to become a member or a business ready to partner with us, every contribution empowers our Bobcats to reach their full potential. Visit BobcatCollective.com to learn more and sign up today. Together, we can elevate our athletes and the entire Bobcat community. Go Cats, go!
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect access, protect the hunt.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Bobcats on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Bobcat Pride, powered locally.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. We remind you that you can support Bobcat players through the Bobcat Collective. The Bobcat Collective powers NIL opportunities for our Bobcat student athletes, helping them thrive on and off the field. Join today and make a real impact. I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined now by fifth-year senior, a captain, Pacific Northwest native, one of your linebackers, Danny Uluilakepa. Danny, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Man, happy to have you here as we get into the last run. You are the only non-Montanan who is a captain this year.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's big time. Just seeing all the guys, how they're from Montana, and they're just including me into that group. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the coaching staff and all the guys for trusting me. So I'm just ready to get going.
Yeah, Captain Danny. I like it.
has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I think so. And it is cool, too. I mean, this program's obviously built on Montana kids, which is really cool. But there's also quite the lineage of Pacific Northwest guys. I mean, last time we talked was 2022. Willie Patterson was the other guest, and you were just talking about what he meant to you and so many other guys. I mean, Scottre talked about Isaiah Fonse influencing him to come over here. So it is cool to see that pipeline from the Pacific Northwest have such a backbone in this program.
Yeah, for sure. We probably got it's 50-50 Montana guys, out-of-state dudes, and we got a lot from the Northwest, a lot from the West Coast. I got my little brother on the team now. Yeah. My cousin, JT Reed. Yep. So it's just a big family.
Yeah. You mentioned your brother Taki, defensive back. He made the trip this week.
He did.
That was the first time he was on the travel roster, right?
It was. Yeah.
That's
always
excited. Well, that's there's these markers in guys' careers, right? That fans can't always see. Everybody will see you first sack, but that first time you get to travel, that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I remember just talking to him before. He was a little nervous, but. Yeah, it shaped him shaped him up.
Yeah, how's he coming along in what he's doing on the field?
Oh, he's doing really good. He's understanding the defense, making the right reads, being where he's supposed to. So he's understanding it, and doing better each day.
Yeah, gaining some weight too.
Yeah, trying to. He's a little skinny fella, but
yeah, it's a hard thing. We've talked about it a lot with the offensive linemen, but it's not just those guys. It is a hard thing to continue to gain that weight, but it does seem like you guys have a lot of the resources around the BAC to be able to do that.
Oh, we do. Just the support from the Bobcat Club, the quarterback club, Coach Vigs. He's making sure we're all eating right. So just the different support we get from outside is really helping everyone.
Yeah, it's cool to see, and it's cool to see the development of a lot of these guys. And the offensive line was something we talked about a lot last week. They played beautifully this week despite all the movement around. But, I imagine in practice from the linebacker position, you can really see the way the offensive line moves. What's it like watching those guys go to work? What makes them such a difficult matchup against opposing teams?
It's crazy. Just seeing it from my angle, just seeing the communication that has to happen on the line and just them making their keys and their different lingo that they have on the line. It's beautiful, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear opposing offensive lines communicate and they try to point out a key and you think to yourself, you're wrong?
Oh, yeah, all the time, yeah. we try to disguise our fronts, disguise what we do on the back end. So just hearing them try to call something out, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's got to give you guys some confidence as you go through it.
For sure.
And, you played a lot this weekend. I know they do try to rotate in that kind of third linebacker as much as they can, but Bryce Grebe was the only guy. He played 3 snaps. Now, he had 2 tackles in the TFL.
Hey, that's good odds right there. I'll take those odds.
Yeah, but how did you handle it? And just, that's a lot of snaps to play in a hot environment in a game that was really close.
Yeah, I felt good the whole game. I knew it was going to be a hard one. Knew it was going to be hot, so we did a lot of conditioning before. Me and Rylan, we run after practice. Me, Rylan, Coach Daly. We call it a daily gasser. We go
the daily gasser.
Yeah, daily gasser. It's not the funnest. So we go we go numbers back, hash back, numbers back, full back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll burn.
Yeah, that'll burn a little bit.
Okay.
So we've been getting our conditioning in, making sure we're ready to go.
How many guys are willing to do that with you? Is it just you two?
Right now it's just us. We try to recruit some guys. We got Brody to do it once. He was dying. So
I like it. But it is important to have that kind of conditioning as you get through this stuff. And now, again, you're the guy for another straight year here, and it's McCade. Nolan has left. Nolan Askelson graduated. But how has McCade settled into that role? He seems like he would fall into the quiet leader, and you're the rah-rah guy compared to that.
That's how I would put it, yeah. McCade's done a great job really fitting himself into the defense, understanding it, and he's just out there making plays. I think he had 10 tackles, just doing everything he's supposed to.
Yeah, he did. He had 10 tackles, led the team. I believe you had 8, so you're right there as well. But, cool to see McCade doing what he's doing. I think Cal just got signed again with the USFL.
Yep.
Good to see
exciting.
that. And Willie, is he still playing over in Madrid right now?
He is, yeah. Their season's going on right now. They're probably like 6 games deep, 7 games deep, so he's doing really good.
Yeah. How's he liking? What's it like playing American football in Madrid?
Oh, geez, I don't even know. Yeah, he says it's crazy, so he sees pretty much the whole world doing that, so good for him.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great opportunity. Cool to keep it going, and anytime you have a chance to keep this stuff going, that's the best thing you can do.
For sure.
I want to go back to last year for you a little bit. Sac State, that was the injury for you with that elbow injury.
Yeah.
Came back pretty quick. You all healed up now? Everything feeling good?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling real good, Just trying to go out there and make plays, put on for the team.
Yeah. Now, did it happen on that first play or a second play? Because it happened really early in that game in Sacramento.
Yeah, it was the second play.
Okay.
So, got hurt.
Yeah, what happened to it?
I just dislocated my elbow, but it's all good now.
Yeah. Well, and you came back pretty fast too. What at the end of the season, you still played hard. I know Bobcat fans can truly appreciate the gutsy effort to be able to do that. But what percentage were you at the end of the year when you were coming back?
Sure. Every time I'm on the field, I'm 100%. So I knew it was gonna be some big games going down the line. So whatever I could do to come back, I push myself to do it.
Yeah. No, it was, we could see it. He had the big bandage and the big elbow brace on.
Yeah.
And, we had RJ in the booth last year as well, so he had dislocated his elbow. He knew exactly the pain you were going through.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah. But we're good now, and we're getting into it. You did mention Bryce a little bit, Bryce Grebe. We're expecting to see him get some run here.
Yeah.
Seems like he's made a real big jump from his first year to his second year. What have you seen out of Bryce?
He's just really locked in, and he's a natural born athlete, so just mixing that and the knowledge of the depth book or the playbook. So he's really filling into the role, and he's going to be great.
Yeah, looks like he's bulked up a little bit too.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's looking big.
Yeah.
Him and Brody.
Yeah.
They look like twins out there.
Right, no, and Bryce is wearing that number 10 now too.
Yeah, it's trippy.
Yeah, it is a little bit. And, you get a chance to watch the defensive line guys from behind as well and see what they do. We had Blake Schmidt on the show last week. What's it like watching Blake go to work and be the guy in the middle of the D-line now?
Oh, he's a wrecking ball in there. He just wrecks shop, goes in there, takes like double teams, triple teams on, lets me be free. So I love that guy.
Yeah. And you get to see Brody go to work too. I mean, he's going to be big time this year, as we all expect. Well,
sure.
what makes him so special?
I would say just the athletic ability and his quickness on the line. Like, he goes in there, he can barely get blocked. Like, no one's really touching him. Just that and his pass rush moves. He's really getting into his zone when he's doing that.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of fun to watch, and they get to go back to work here this weekend.
For sure. Yeah, we're excited.
I'm excited for it, too. Give us a couple of these top-line keys. What do you guys need to do to be successful this weekend against Utah Tech?
I would say stop the run, of course. That's the biggest thing, stopping the run and just being physical, reading our keys, making sure we're doing the things we got to do.
I like it. How are you going to spend the day with an 8 o'clock kickoff? What are you going to be doing?
We'll be watching a lot of football, making sure we locked in, doing some walkthroughs.
Yep.
Just, normal stuff.
Yeah, just got to be patient.
Yeah.
Just not burn up all the energy early.
Basically.
Yeah. You got any big is there any other college football teams that you like to watch a lot, or is there anybody you're looking forward to?
Not really. Just seeing
whatever
what's
the big
on.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Well, there's going to be a lot of big games this weekend, a lot of big games down the stretch, and we're going to be back in front of Bobcat fans in no time. You excited for Gold Rush here in 2 weeks?
The community here is the best. Just Bobcat Nation, the Gold Rush game, just going out there to see a gold. It's nothing like I've ever seen. So I can't wait. I appreciate everyone coming out. Thanks, everyone. And I appreciate, just everyone coming to the games, and it's big time for us.
Yeah, it's everywhere all the time. You get recognized around town a lot?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. So, like, the other week I was at Target. Someone came up, took a picture of me. I'm shaking hands, kissing babies at Target, so, like, it's crazy.
I love it. Well, hey, that's the way it goes, man. You keep making plays, you're going to be in front of it all.
That's what I'm trying to do.
All right. Well, if you want any pictures or your baby kiss, I guess you're the guy to find at Target.
Hey, find me. I'm all good.
Awesome. All right, Danny Uluilakepa, appreciate the time. Excited for what we got this year.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, we're taking a break. Coach Vigen coming back after this timeout. We'll get you ready to go for the Utah Tech game on Saturday. You're listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Revelry is your neighborhood eatery, here to serve a wholesome and savory palate that celebrates Montana roots with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. We revel in a natural and energetic habitat that livens any day. We serve Bozeman's best pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and salads in a comfortable environment with 2 amazing patios. We love hosting Bobcats old and new. Check us out at 24 North Tracy or online at revelrymt.com. Go Cats, go!
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Hi, former Bobcat Lou Salcedo for Western Motors. Our team proudly supports MSU Bobcat football both on and off the field. I want to wish the Bobcats the best of luck for the season. Western Motors has spent the last 22 years serving Gallatin County and supporting over 40 local organizations. We've been recognized as the best in Bozeman and Gallatin's greatest several years running. As Montana's #1 volume dealer, we are hired in all departments across 8 of our dealerships. We have plenty of new and used inventory ready for purchase. Good luck, Bobcats. Western Motors. Community born, community driven.
We are back one final time from Buffalo Wild Wings on Cat Chat. We want to remind you that Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Go Cats. All right, Coach, before we dive into this Utah Tech game, I talked to the strength coach, Sean Herron, for our pregame show, which you can catch at 7 o'clock for the 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. But, I want to talk to him a little bit because I think one thing that stood out in this win at New Mexico was the mental skills. I asked him, about some of the things they work on, and he kind of talked about when you do something that's hard in the offseason, it carries over through that confidence. Did you see some of that kind of stuff come through and how you guys train in the offseason to overcome all the things that could have broken a weaker team this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sean does a great job of creating hard situations. I think that's it, and not only just putting him in those scenarios, but then speaking to it. And ideally, what happens, subconsciously or whatever, in those moments in games when it does become hard, it's second nature for our guys just to keep moving forward. To rely on one another, to know they've seen this guy work through whatever. I think that's the biggest thing, when it comes to the scenarios that he's trying to create, all through the winter, the spring, and ultimately the summer. So, he's amazing. And I can't say enough about what he's been able to do for our program. His contribution is significant. There's a lot of strength training that is science, but there's so much of it that's an art, and he's really good at that side of it.
Yeah, it was a cool conversation. Again, you can catch that on the pregame show or on the Bobcat podcast, the Bobcat Insider podcast. All right, let's get ready for Utah Tech. We're looking ahead, presented by Vance Thompson Vision. Cats beat Utah Tech at home last year, 63-20. Much different look this year. A new head coach, Lance Anderson. He spent 16 years at Stanford. They've got new quarterbacks. That Bo Sparks kid, the wide receiver, who racked up 140-something yards in that last game, he transferred to Texas State. One of their better linebackers, Will Leota, transferred to Sacramento State. He's all-conference this year. Another one of their D linemen, Cyrus Webster, he transferred to Washington State. So they had a lot of exodus, but they brought in 13 FBS transfers as well. So what do you know as you just try to mine for things on what this Utah Tech team might present this weekend?
Well, you start with Coach Anderson and his background, and I know that would lend itself to the defensive side. The time he spent at Stanford as an assistant, then ultimately as a coordinator. Stanford was rolling through that stretch, and they were a principled, physical type of team, and so I'm sure that's what he's after. In particular on the defensive side. When you talk about his influence, but I think just as a team, and I listened to him talk the other night. I think that's what they're after, to be physical, to be principled, to be disciplined, all those things. And, to start and to say that's going to happen immediately, that's challenging, especially with the turnover that they've had. So, I think we're looking at a lot of different angles. I know their offensive coordinator been at Southeast Louisiana, so we've taken a look there. And other quarterbacks, they haven't listed one, come from a couple different places. So you try to study up on what those quarterbacks could do, because again, that really drives offensively where you start. So, piecing it all together, but then just like last week, understanding that, hey, we get into maybe the middle of the second quarter, maybe the end of the first quarter, whatever. Let's get a beat on what we think they are completely, and then go from there. And ultimately, really focus on our ability to do the things that we know we can do better in this game as much as anything that they're doing.
Yeah, their quarterback, they're going to have the two. Luke McPhail came from Syracuse. Deacon Hill coming over from Iowa. McPhail is not going to have much on film. He only played one game at Syracuse. But Deacon Hill was the guy for Iowa down the stretch last year after Cade McNamara got hurt. So there's definitely some film out there on him, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of film from last year. And he's a big dude that can really throw it. And he played in some really big games last year. And, ultimately, Iowa had they played the Big Ten championship last year, so he was in a bunch of games and a bunch of moments that, this transfer to Utah Tech, I'm sure happened for a lot of reasons, but he's not gonna be afraid of the moment for dang sure. I know, and I expect to see him out there. He's got a big arm; he can make all the throws, and ideally we can put an amount of pressure on him and make it come out a little quicker. All those types of things, and hopefully we can cover on the other end.
All right, well, here we go. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday over in St. George. It's supposed to be hot, but that's why the game is at 8 o'clock. So hopefully it'll be at like 93 or 95-ish around kickoff, we hope, maybe?
Yeah, having that game last week under our belt, I think, definitely helps. This might be a little bit different heat. I know the sun won't be a factor really shortly after kick. So, our guys played through it well last week. And I think we showed that, hey, we were in great condition, and that's what it comes down to. It comes down to be able to play a lot of guys at the same time, and we hope we can do even more of that this week.
All right, we'll talk to you at 7 o'clock on Saturday for the 8 o'clock kick. Thank you to Scottre, Humphrey, and Danny Uluilakepa joining us today. For Head Coach Brent Vigen, this is Keaton Gillogly saying so long from Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll be back again next week. This has been Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
You've been listening to Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bobcat Sports Network.